Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Shatrin Sawati is here from Biosciences with Shatrin Sawati. So, welcome to all my students who are listening and watching my lectures and getting benefits and having comments, very nice comments, and very good feedback I'm getting from my students and all other people who are watching my channel. So before starting my lecture, I have a very humble request to all of you. Kindly subscribe my channel and share my videos, like my videos. And if you are sharing my lectures, you are sharing the knowledge, so keep watching and keep sharing knowledge with other. So here today I will deliver the lecture from my animal series. I Yesterday I delivered the lecture upon the two important phylum from invertebrates, Phylum Porifera and Phylum Nidaria, which are the simplest living organism, simplest animals existing. And now I will discuss in this lecture the two other phylum, Phylum Platyhelminthes and Phylum Aschelminthes. So, as I have discussed that phylum porifera, which are the most simplest organism having no organization and even the tissues organization and nothing, they're simplest. And then moving towards the nidarias have little bit complexity as compared to the porifera. So you will see here some complex features in phylum Platyhelminthes. So Platyhelminthes, actually the word is derived from the two words. Platy means flat and helminthes mean worms. Must keep it in your mind. As you can see here in the photograph, the two forms of the worms belonging to the phylum Platyhelminthes, which are the flatworm. They are also known as flatworm. So you can see the structure, they are flat, and that's why they are known as Platyhelminthes. Now I will discuss some important characteristics of the phylum Platyhelminthes. So they are simplest group of worms. They are the simplest group of worms. They are also called, these worms called planarians. They have bilateral symmetry. As I have discussed that what is the radial symmetry and what is asymmetry, like porifera are asymmetrical animals, then nidarians are radially symmetrical animals, because in case of the radial symmetry, one organism is divided into two equal parts in more than one plan. But in case of the bilateral symmetry, what will happen? The body of the living organism divided into two equal parts in just one plane, like human body and all other vertebrates body, divided into two equal parts in the mid, into two equal parts in just one plane. And I will show you how. So habitat, they are free living as well as live as a parasite. In parasitic form, they causes diseases and getting food and many more from their host, and gets benefits and harm the host. So they are triploblastic. Like nidarians, which are diploblastic, consist of two layers, germ layers. One is the ectoderm and the other one is the endoderm. And between the ectoderm and endoderm in nidarians, you see that mesoglea, jelly-like material. But in case of the triploblastic animals, like the platyhelminthes, these are triploblastic. They are so advancement. You can see here the advancement. They have bilateral. This is advanced. Bilateral symmetry is their advanced character, and they live as a parasite. This is also the third one, which is most important advanced character, triploblastic. Their body consists of three layers, like ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. But They are acellumate, which is not an advanced character, which is the character of Porifera and Coelenterata Cnidarians. In case of Cnidarians and Porifera, you see that just the sponge seal and gastrovascular cavity is present. So here they are also acellumate, and the spaces between these layers are filled with a mesenchyma tissues. They have had, they have eye spots, but the difference between the parasitic and the free living form is that the parasitic form do not have eye spot because they don't need it, and they don't have any sensory lobe. And sensory lobe, you can see here in the figure, you can see this is this is just like a little bit structure look like the brain, but not a true brain or spinal cord, but just a resemblance. So the sensory lobe these organisms use for finding food, means they have developed sense. Now, body system. Body system, they don't have too much advanced and developed body system. Digestion occur in a gastrovascular cavity. Digestive system is incomplete, having only one opening to the exterior, that is mouth. There is no anus. They have just one opening, which is mouth. They have no anus. Like I'm showing you here, this is the simplest digestive system in the flat form, and you can see here the eye spots as I have discussed, the brain not a true brain, this is the sensory lobe, and you can see here the intestinal portion and the pharynx and the mouth, just one opening mouth, there is no anus. Both functions performed by this pore, which is considered here as a mouth, both excretory as well as intake of the food by this single pore. And you can see the intestine, and here you can see ventrolateral nerves, which are arising from the sensory lobes. So little bit sensory system or nervous system is developed in these organisms. Okay. Now, respiration. Respiration, there is no respiratory system, and the respiration occurs through the general body surface, mean by mechanism, because they have very thin surface layer, so that's why the diffusion of gases occur to them easily. Next one, excretion. Excretion occurs through Flam cells, protonephridia. They have excretory system, and I will show you here. This is the excretory system of the Platyhelminthes flat forms. The scientists give the name Flam cell because of the flickering of the cilia. These cilia, this is the Flam cell, and the cilia of the Flam cell, what will happen? They collect the excretory material from the body, and you can see here the all the Flam cells arranged in rows. And these Flam cells have cilia, and these cilia beat and collect all the waste material from the body and then excrete it out through the excretory pore. They have, these Flam cells have excretory pores. So the surface of these animals covered with small pores, and these are the excretory pores of the Flam cells. So what is the function of the Flam cells? They perform the function of excretion. This is the excretory system. They make the excretory system of Platyhelminthes and collect the waste material from the body and then excrete it out. And why it is called Flam cell? Because of the flickering movement of its cilia. Lashing flickering movement of cilia. Okay. Now, nervous system. System consists of pairs of the anterior ganglia or sensory lobes with longitudinal nerve cords, and you can see here the nerve cords are you can say ventrolateral nerves. This is the nerve cord which spread throughout the body and cover and give the sense to these animals. Is it clear now? Now, reproductive system. They have well developed reproductive system now. As in porifera, you can see just cells, and in cnidarians, just cells performing the reproduction. But in these organisms, in these cells, there is little bit development of the gonads, ducts, and accessory glands. They have male and female in the same organs, in the same male and female gonads, in the same organism. So they are hermaphrodite. They are hermaphrodite because both the sexes present in the same organism. They are bisexual, means bisexual hermaphrodite. They are not unisexual. They are bisexual and hermaphrodite. Both sexes are present in the same organism, as you can see here in the figure. Male and female. This is the male and this is the female. Male produces the sperms and female produces the egg, and then fertilization and many more. Tapeworms, planaria, these are the examples of the phylum Platyhelminthes, and you can find more and search them and observe them. Now I'm going to discuss the next phylum, that is Phylum Aschelminthes. I hope so. The first phylum Platyhelminthes is clear upon you people, and if the porifera, cnidarians, and Platyhelminthes is clear upon you people, you can easily understand Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes, as you can see here, their body is rounded, and so that's why they are known as roundworms. Like Platyhelminthes, flatworms. Aschelminthes, they are known as roundworms. And the old name of the Aschelminthes roundworm is nematoda. They are known as nematodes. Aschelminthes, which are roundworms, and they are also known as, the old name of this phylum is nematodes. Their body is, now I'm discussing some characteristics of these roundworms. Their body is cylindrical, as you can see here, tapering at both ends. As you can see, round body and tapering, pointed, tapering at both ends. Now, habitat, they are free living as well as live as a parasites. The third most important point is that they are pseudo-coelomate, means like the early, like porifera, then cnidarians, and then Platyhelminthes, they are acoelomate. But the Aschelminthes roundworm, there is some sort of development of the coelom, but that is the false. Pseudo means false. Coelomate is the word from the coelom, means cavity. Pseudo-coelomate, false cavity. These organisms have false cavity. So that's why they are known as pseudo-coelomate. Now the bilateral symmetry. They have bilateral symmetry like the Platyhelminthes. The body is cut into two equal parts in just one plane. This is advanced character. The third advanced character is triploblastic. They are triploblastic, consist of three germinal layers: ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. And the most important characteristic of the Aschelminthes is the muscular layer. Muscular layer present but not continue. It is present but not continue. divide into 4 longitudinal lines, 2 dorsolateral and 2 ventrolateral. Means on the ventral sides and lateral side, on the dorsal side and lateral sides. How many layers? Muscular layer divided? 4 longitudinal lines. Is it clear now? Now, these are the different forms and species of the Aschelminthes you must observe in your labs. Ascaris is mostly present in our labs, and many more. You also search their names and collect them. Okay. Now the body system. Digestive system is complete, consisting of long tube with mouth and anus. Now, as you can make a clear difference between the Platyhelminthes. In Platyhelminthes, there is no anus, just one opening, which is mouth, is present. But in Aschelminthes, they are tapering at both ends. They are rounded, so mouth is present on the one end and the anus is present on the other. Respiratory organ is absent still. Still, there is no organ up to Aschelminthes, and respiration, exchange of gases occur through the general body surface. Circulatory system is also absent, like in case of the Aschelminthes, poriferas and cnidarians. There is also absent. The circulatory system all absent. So excretion through canals and pseudonephridia. Protonephridia. Protonephridia like Flam cell-like structures also present in them. Is it clear? So, phylum Platyhelminthes have special cells which are known as the Flam cells, but these have some little bit structures which resemble that. They are protonephridia. Reproductive system developed. Fertilization is internal. They are unisexual as well as hermaphrodite. Unisexual means male and female partners separated. So this is very advanced character. And hermaphrodite, both male and female present in the same organism. Nervous system consists of rings of nerve tissues, which is also known as ganglia, around the pharynx. Like in the Platyhelminthes, you see the ganglia and nerve cords moving along the lateral and dorsal and ventral sides. Here is also the ganglia around the pharynx. You can see here the complete diagrammatic view. This is the mouth. Both ends are tapering. They are rounded. They have rounded body, and mouth is present on one end and is present. This is advanced character, and these have sometimes they are unisexual, sometimes they are bisexual. If they are bisexual, means they are hermaphrodite, means ovary and testes present in the same organism. But in some cases, they are unisexual. Ovary, male and female partners are separate. And this is the intestine. You can see very beautifully showing here the clear intestine, nerve rings you can see, excretory pores are present, which are protonephridia's pores. Is it clear? And pseudocoelom, false coelom is present here. Cuticle is present on the skin, and reproductive pores for the release of the sperms, or for the entry of the sperm in female and in case of the male if the partners are separate. Now, these are the two partners of Ascaris, male and female. Is it clear? I hope so. The lecture is clear upon you people, and you will enjoy this lecture. You should make a clear difference between all these organisms. You must collect all these organisms. You must observe in your labs. Then you will clearly understand all the concepts, all the things related, all the characteristics related to these organisms. I hope so the lecture is clear upon you. If you have any question, kindly ask me. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.